Mr. Speaker, it's an honour and a privilege to speak in this third reading, myself as a descendant of Ngāti Tama and Ngāti Mutunga. It is without doubt a privilege and an honour. Some people might think it's not right for someone like me to speak, given the mahi and what happened with my ancestors. But I've always said, and to a number of Moriori who I grew up with, some of the Solomon whānau in Māngere, Mr. Speaker, that I couldn't be held responsible for the acts of some of our tipuna and some of our ancestors. But as a lot of people would argue today, perhaps with regards to what their ancestors did to Māori. But I certainly have an opportunity to get and be part of the redress, and that's what today's all about. I have a part to play in terms of the justice side, the humanity side, and that's what third readings are all about. So when I did tell some of my Ngāti Tama and Ngāti Mutunga whanaunga that I would be having a kōrero on the bill, they were a bit worried, but I'm certainly not, because the Moriori story is one of the most fascinating stories, as the previous speaker said. Well said too. One of the most wonderful stories in terms of this country's history, and in fact in terms of world history, and the peace that has been exhibited by our people down there. And I say our people because that's how I see things in terms of Moriori, is something for all of this country to be proud of. Ironic, really, that we had such a peaceful resistance in that area, and in the same area, in a different area in Taranaki, we also, believe it or not, had huge peacemakers and resistance from tohunga like Te Whiti and Tohu. So it's ironic that we celebrate and support our Moriori history, and at the same time remember what happened with our Taranaki tipuna. Mr. Speaker, I'll never forget travelling to the Chatham Islands for the first time in 2018 when we honoured the passing of the last Māori battalion officer, Alfred Bunty Priest, who was 96. And those were the first military honours that were ever accorded to people on the island. And it was a wonderful trip. First time I'd ever been there. I took my whānau down there with Minister Ron Mark at the time. And Joseph Mini was talking about the wairua and the spirit of that place. It very much is a special place, isn't it? You felt the wairua, we felt it all, and we got it from Alfie Priest's Tangi, Bunty Priest's Tangi, who was the former mayor, and his son, Alfie Priest Jr., who was also a mayor. And we felt the wairua there, the support and the peacefulness from a people who have been so ravaged by the Crown, and their story, like the Māori story in terms of what has happened, is something to behold. Left landless, basically at times mutilated through the years. So it's appropriate that I salute the negotiators, in particular Maui Solomon, who's fought for his people and fought the fight for his people of the Chathams, Moriori. But the other side of Maui, he's fought the fight for Māori people. He's fought for a lot of groups, been a long time legal person. These are the types of people who will work in our world, who can work with everyone. And I mihi to him for his kaha in terms of fighting for Moriori people, and the other negotiators who were involved, who the Minister mentioned today. The Moriori history is so fascinating, Mr. Speaker, because not only do we talk about the peaceful resistance, the wairua of the people, but we're talking about a group of people who've been used and abused by everyone. Politicians, historians, when they talk about history, there was a whole divide and rule strategy that not just the Crown embarked on, too many of our own people embarked on. Māori, Pākehā, historians, politicians, We all heard the type of kōrero that, oh, you Maoris weren't the first here, the Morioris were the first here, and you murdered everyone, and really you're not the tangata whenua, the Morioris are, and we've heard those type of stories forever and a day. We heard them when we were at primary school, and we heard them for so many years it wasn't funny, and it took away so much in terms of that unique Moriori history. You know, we should not have bought in to the nonsense that was being pushed out by some ill-informed historians. We had Don Brash going on about it a couple of years ago. Just ridiculous. And it took away the fact that what happened was sad. What happened was part of history in terms of Māori going down there and invading and taking over a whole group of people and enslaving them. It took away their rights. It took away the way the Crown treated them. It took so much away, and we bought into all that nonsense. And as someone who worked on radio and who worked on TV through the years, I got so sick and tired of the continual racist kōrero that we kept hearing about Māori murdering the Moriori being the first here. We're way past that. As a government, as a parliament, we're way past that. And I salute the previous Minister, Christopher Finlayson, who took this up. And we haven't, and it's good in the House, we haven't bought into those arguments about who was first here, who wasn't first here. We just focus in on the compensation and the support that the Moriori have deserved. And I thank everyone for that, because this has been such a rich history. And what I'm looking forward to, Sarah, is how we go forward now. How is that Moriori history going to be supported and converted in the 2020s? What's the next move from Maui Solomon and his team? You see, 18 million, sir, does not, can never buy justice. The treaty settlements process, as acknowledged by most treaty ministers, does not deliver a full justice for the different groups, for Māori, for Moriori. So how is Moriori tanga going to play out in the 2020s? It's going to be fascinating to watch how these young groups come through from whare kauri and look to see what type of contribution they will make to New Zealand society. But being in Parliament gives one the opportunity to salute the mahi that's been done by people like Maui Solomon, who's been doing this since the mid-80s. Gives us a time to remember the sad tragedies, the tragedies that they went through in terms of whare kauri, but it also gives us the opportunity to celebrate the mana, the strength, the kaha of a people who have risen again. And I mihi to them one more time, thank them for their contribution. Congratulations, this is your day. Mihi nui kia koutou, tēnā koutou, a tēnā no tātou katoa.